Good morning. Our topic today is Love in Action, and it's part of a series this month about being stewards of this planet, planetary stewardship. So I want to tell you about an award that the United Nations created. It's created to breathe life into the ambitions of brilliant young environmentalists, and it's called the Young Champions of the Earth Award. It's for young people who have got big ideas to restore our environment. So, to apply for the award, you have to have a vision of a more sustainable future. You have to have a strong record of promoting change in that area. You also have to be unafraid of failure. And you have to believe in a bright future for our planet. Wow. Now, the video that announces this award every year has these words on it. It has been said that there is nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. But there is one thing more powerful: the people who make that idea a reality. The ones brave enough to leave behind old formulas, who dare to invent the future. Nonconformists, innovators, and they come from all corners of the globe, different in every way but one. They are young. What? They are young and they know tomorrow belongs to those who can see beyond today. Well, as you can see, I tripped on the young part. And I know the UN is rightly focusing on young people. And older people are busy too, addressing the environment, And before I made that claim, I thought I better research to see if that's true. Well, it is. There's an organization you may not know about. It is called Environmental Alliance for Senior Involvement. And it draws on the accumulated wisdom of elders. Their mission is to build, promote, and utilize the environment ethic, expertise, and commitment of older persons to expand citizen involvement in protecting and caring for our environment for present and future generations. And do you know, it is the largest senior environmental action network in the world. And it has programs, some of which are dear to me because they include intergenerational activities related to environmental awareness. It's not the only organization like that. There's Elder Climate Action. It's a project of Elder Action Network. There's the website. And their vision is, we are grandparents, great aunts, and great uncles who care about the future for all children. As Elder Climate Action members, we are determined to do all we can to leave a sustainable planet for future generations. And I like that it seems that older people can also know that tomorrow is created by those who see beyond today. And isn't that one of the foundational teachings of our Center for Spiritual Living? The Science of Mind that we teach here says that is the creative power of a vision, no matter what age you are. And a vision must be larger than what is already possible. You have to look beyond a bright future. Our teaching, The Science of Mind, is a reminder to us that says, no matter what age you are, don't get too old to dream. Don't get too stuck in what is happening now that you lose hope. Don't get so comfortable that you forget to change along with all of life. Now, that young person, the Young Champion of the Earth Award, it's looking for inspired problem solvers with big, bold ideas for the environment, for humanity, for the future. And each year, the winners, the people who are selected, I should say, receive mentorship, training as well as funding. And the 2019 Young Champions of the Earth Awards are being considered right now. So I can't tell you who they are yet. I don't know. But I can tell you some of the people who have been champions of the earth. For example, in 2016, Afroz Shah, who you may have read about in social media on the news, because this young attorney, he spends every weekend picking up debris, plastic and waste along Mumbai in India, the most polluted beaches. Now, he is known as the man behind the world's largest beach cleaning project. That's what Afroz is known about. He started in 2015, by the way, with his 84-year-old neighbor, because they were just so frustrated about how much decaying stuff was washing up on the beach, along with the non-decaying plastics washing up the beach. So frustrated that they just decided to get started, just start picking up things. So every week since then, Shah has inspired volunteers to join him, and they include the homeless, movie stars, students, politicians, people of all ages, and people from all walks of life. And they call this cleanup activity a date with the ocean. Well, in reality, rotting garbage in the hot Indian sun is not a fun date. That's tough work. Nevertheless, in 69 weeks, they removed 4,500 tons of trash. Now, I don't even know what a ton is. I had to look it up. I had to get some comparison. So apparently, a white rhino is about 1.5 tons. An Asian elephant's about 1.5 tons. An African elephant's about 2 tons. Medium, small-sized car is 1.5 tons. Wow. Imagine that. 4,500 rhinos on your front lawn. Well, I was reading on the Recycle Your site. I'm trying to read my handwriting. It says here that each year we throw away 1 million plastic bottles per minute. And 36,000 plastic bottles is about 1 ton. So you get the idea of what they were doing. I mean, that's a lot of cleanup. And they just started because that's all they could do. And it makes me think of that Edward Everett Hale quote that says, "I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And I will not let what I cannot do interfere with what I can do." I really love that, and that's another central part of our teaching, the science of mind. If I can paraphrase it, it says, don't give up. Not even if there are 4,000 rhinos on your beach. There's a magazine for teenagers, Teen Vogue magazine. In 2017, they wrote an article about 8 inspiring young environmentalists who are busy working to improve conditions on the earth. And I think it's important to read about these stories and to share them, because some of the big issues that face our world and that face our society seem too big for one person to handle. And yet, it turns out that people can make a difference even before they graduate high school or college, it turns out. Like, for example, Alison Boyer, she was 18 at the time of the article. She's from Chico, California. And at 7 years old, she became aware of the threat to orangutans. Because you may have read about it, how the growing palm oil industry was starting to cause deforestation and was threatening the natural habitats of orangutans. So what was she to do? She started to collect gently used bags, purses, and reconditioned them and resold them at fundraising events and sent 100% of the proceeds to a conservation group, Orangutan Outreach. She just started where she was with what she had to make a difference. Or how about Annabelle Karen Clark? She was also 18 at the time of the writing of the article. She started small too by getting her classmates involved. She enrolled them to join her in planting milkweed around her school to attract the monarch butterflies at the peak of their migration, because the loss of the milkweed was disrupting their migration. And then for her, this small step turned into a lifelong passion for her young life, for wildlife, and for the creation of education programs for teens in schools. Or how about the surfer, Jackson Hindle? He was 17 when the article was written. He's from San Clemente in California, and he became aware of the problem, the long-lasting effect of plastic in our water. And the way he became aware of it, he was down in Panama on the Pacific side surfing when he realized there's so much plastic pollution that it hit him and it changed him forever. He became aware, as an American consumer, I'm part of this. And it was in that moment something shifted for him, and he became aware of his calling, his duty, say his dharma, to do something about it, to help change the way people identify themselves. So while he was still in school, he started an environmental club, which spread from California to Hawaii to even Canada and Washington, with the goal of educating people to make small changes inside their own circle of activity. In your family, in your business, in your school, in your neighborhood, with the ultimate goal of encouraging people to see themselves in a new light as stewards of this planet who can make a change. It's a good question. Do you see yourself as a steward of this planet? Do you think of yourself as someone who is capable of starting a change? And if not in your world, how about in your relationship? How about in your home? How about in your work? By the way, our surfer friend Jackson, now he plans to become president of the United States one day. In the meantime, he's working on a campaign to replace water bottles in school, plastic water bottles, with something called Just Water. It's water packaged in non-plastic containers made out of 82% plant-derived material, and it's already in over 60 schools, and he started with his own school. So there's some lessons to learn from these people. From Jackson, the lesson is, don't wait until you're the president of the United States, and start where you are. Like Hannah Herbst, 16, from Boca Raton in Florida. When she was in the 4th grade, her teacher introduced her to a program. It's called Compassion International. It's a pen pal program where children get to write to each other over the world and connect with children living in different ways. So Hannah, got to read about the living conditions of her pen pal, Ruth, in Ethiopia. Ruth had minimal access to electricity. Her place was considered to be energy poor. Limited access to electricity. Imagine that. Imagine it. Imagine your routine this morning without electricity. So Hannah helped create a product called Beacon. It stands for Bringing Electricity Access to Countries Through Ocean Energy. It's a device that converts kinesthetic movement from any moving body of water into a source of usable electricity. And it can be used where people are having lack of energy access. And it's made from 90% recyclable materials. What lesson can I learn from Hannah? Learning about other people and other nations can open the compassionate heart, and the heart can dream up solutions. You know, there's a lesson in that for me, a really important lesson. It's this, Edward. Don't be afraid to learn about the terrible things that are happening in the world. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared of learning about what is going on. Just remember what Mr. Rogers taught us. Look for the helpers, like Hannah, and then support them and talk about them and believe in them and let them inspire, and then let the world's bad news be your prayer list. Then there's also Celeste Tinahero. She was 21 at the time of the article. She was inspired to get involved with the environment by her big brother, who had already started a club at school called Eco Warriors. And with him, she was able to apply to Green Nevada for a grant, which they won. And with that grant, they were able to convert their school into a sustainable organization. And now she's the project manager for the education program in a nonprofit, designing school curriculum on sustainable living. That's thrilling and exciting. But what's most interesting is what she says. Don't hesitate and don't worry about funding. Work with a group of hard-working, willing, and determined people. Then create a compelling and efficient plan. The rest will follow. We can fight, she says, for all the issues that we are passionate about forever. But if we don't have an earth to survive us, none of it matters. Someone has to give our planet a voice. Okay, what are the lessons I can learn from Celeste? This one, and it's right in our Science of Mind teaching. Don't wait until you're perfect. Get going, and most importantly, get going with the business of raising your consciousness to the level of possibility thinking, because that has an energy of itself, the magical multiplying power of consciousness. And while you're doing that, give your planet a voice. The rest will follow. Here's another example you may have heard of. Jadhav Payeng, because he's been in the news. He did something. He began when he was 16 years old, and he was a farmer, still is, part of a marginalized community in India. And he started planting trees because he started to find dead snakes in the deforested area. Trees come down, heat goes up, moisture disappears, the wildlife was suffering. So he just started planting trees. And he did so for 30 to 40 years, working to turn the tide on erosion. Planted thousands and thousands of trees. There's even a book for children about him, telling how he made a forest all by himself. It's called Jadhav and the Tree Place. Yeah. By the way, side note, did you know that September 21st is Tree Planting Day? Just saying. Did you know that there is an organization right here in our own backyard called Forest Unlimited? And their goal is, their vision, to protect, enhance, and restore the forests and watersheds of the North Bay. And they have tree planting events. And they're looking for tree planting volunteers of all ages. Yeah. Here's some statistics. 2011, their volunteers planted 1,000 redwood seedlings. 2012, they planted over 550 trees in the Grayton area. 2013, along with volunteers from the junior college, they planted 1,400 redwoods. 2016, they planted another 1,100 redwood seedlings in the Cazadero Hills. 2017, they acquired new property for reforesting and planted 1,600 trees. Yeah. So, what lessons can we learn from Jadev? Number one, you can do something even if you are part of a marginalized community. That's big. And two, plant a tree. Or pay for one to be planted. Even if you're the only one doing so. That video that introduces the young champions of the earth from the United Nations, here's some more words from its video. Some look at the state of our world and ask, why? But we dream of what might be and ask, why not? Where others see only crisis, we see opportunity. We are the rule breakers, problem solvers, game changers. We are renegades with a cause. You'll find us in every era, among all people and nations. We are young, brave, and have big questions in search of big solutions. We are the future of our planet. We are champions of the earth. Look, they're looking for the next generation of environmental champions. But I noticed that line, they are looking for young minds. And that's where you and I can come in. Because that's our teaching. We have got to remain young in our minds and to participate so we don't fall into the thinking that we're leaving this for the next generation to clean up. Oh no. See yourself as a steward of the planet. Think of yourself as someone who is able to initiate change. Learn about what is going on in the world and lean into it. And while doing that, nurture an affirmative, hopeful, positive attitude, a vision. And then support and encourage and celebrate where you see love in action related to our planet. Like the Ohio teenagers who invented a system to recycle styrofoam into a water filtration device. Like Nikita Rafikov, an 11-year-old who invented a way to embed green fluorescent protein in glass so that they could have electricity-free light. Like Asa Abdelhamid Fayed, the 16-year-old Egyptian who discovered a method for breaking down plastic to produce biofuel. Like Anna Humphrey from Virginia, at 10 years of age, created an app that can detect the presence of E. coli. Like Jai Kumar, a 12-year-old who invented an air filtration system that uses solar power. Like Sahil Doshi from Pennsylvania, who invented a system using recycled aluminum and the copper wires from guitars, the strings, to create an eco-friendly battery. It's reminders for us. Life is reminding us, again, don't get too old to dream. Don't get so stuck in what is going on in the world that you forget to hope. And don't get so settled in your life that you forget to change. That's enough of the don'ts. Do remember that the power of your vision invokes an energy that is immense. Do remember to make your vision larger even than what is currently possible and available. In our teaching, we say, principle is not bound by precedent. And that means don't go believing that the future is restricted by the past or by what is possible now. In other words, remember, I am an agent for change, and that through the power of my decision, I can channel a creative energy. I can get on board with this. I can make increasingly positive impacts on this planet by becoming aware of the impact of my purchases, of my habits, and I can talk about my vision because I have a vision of a healthy, loving world in which resources are honored and protected and shared and respected. By the way, did you know that Cloverdale, the city of Cloverdale, pledged their support for a community-wide transition to 100% renewable energy? Yeah. Sebastopol did too. Yeah. And Novato. Yeah. And Los Angeles pledged that they'll get there by 2045. Yeah, it's a big job. And Ventura is already on board. Oxnard made the pledge. Santa Monica made the pledge. 133 cities across the United States have said, yes, we are either starting or ready to start for a transition to 100% clean renewable energy. And I know this because it's on the Sierra Club web page. They've got a map there showing all the cities that have pledged. Yeah. I was looking for Santa Rosa. Yeah. I wonder what the city of Santa Rosa, I wonder where the city officials stand on that. You know? The Sierra Club recommends that you and I tell our leadership and our Congress members and our officials what our vision is and what we are interested in when it comes to our planet. And that's something we can do at any age, especially since we have been studying all year we've been studying how to stay rooted in spirituality and loving kindness and how to speak from a consciousness of unity and hope when engaging in social action. So we're ready. We're ready to have the conversation. So I invite you now to take a breath in with me and to exhale, letting your eyes close for a moment of silent contemplation. There is only one power back of all creation, the living Spirit Almighty, that which is permanent and unchanging, and yet is the source of all that is created, and everything that is yet to be created, and everything that was and ever shall be. Permanent, unchanging, and everywhere present. I identify myself as a creation of this living Spirit, as I identify everyone in the sanctuary in the same way, as well as this earth upon which we stand. And so I am realizing through this prayer a moment of tremendous awe and holiness for what is. Through this prayer, I am opening my mind to ideas for what is mine to do as a steward of this planet. Through this prayer, I'm saying yes in my heart for what to know and what to be and become as a spiritual being who understands the power of vision and change. Through this prayer, I'm confirming that there is a wisdom within me, as it is within every single person, that knows, that is connected to the divine, that intuitively guides us. And through this prayer, I'm confirming my willingness to follow its lead. I'm filled up with a sense of rejoicing and expectation because I believe in the power of prayer, and I trust right now that something is moving and churning in the unseen side of life to prepare for me, for us, for everyone here, the wherewithal and the knowledge, also the inspiration and the means to fulfill our duty to this planet. And together we say, and so it is.